Seems fairly quiet here so far, Talfyg. You're not misleading me, are you?
I swear, what I told you is true. I see no need for this distrust between us.
Showing me a spooky castle proves nothing, Talfyg. Get us inside without drawing attention. Then I'll decide how to feel about you.
Then maybe we could move faster? I'd like to get in before the fiends see us. Did Gwendis bring in reinforcements without telling me? I've told the young one time and again, her suspicion is unnecessary. I swear I only wish to help. Maybe you can talk some sense into her.
If Talfyg here doesn't stop complaining, I'll toss him into one of these graves. Here I am trying to discover if an ancient vampire threatens all of Tamriel, and I need to rely on this insufferable toad. I could ask the same of you, but I don't really care. The ruler of this castle, one Lady Thorn, apparently decided to start amassing her own vampiric army. Bad move on her part. I want to know what she's planning, and then stop it. This worm of a fellow found me in solitude, insists he just escaped this place, and needs to show me what the lady's up to. The problem is, I can't sneak in my usual way with him in tow. Hey, since you're here, feel like helping me storm a castle? Talfyg claims there's a secret door that he and I can use to slip in, but Lady Thorn's creatures heavily patrol the area around it. If you fight your way past the front gate, the racket should draw them away. This is going to be fun. Right. I suppose that does require some explanation. I belong to House Ravenswatch, one of the wards of Count Verondis. We make it our business to track down vampires who cause too much trouble around Tamriel. No. If you were my target, I probably wouldn't just come out and explain myself like that. Or maybe I would. I've done stranger things. Anyway, you're safe. From me, at least. So he says, I was looking for my brother in solitude when this dubious fellow stumbles up to me. Told me he knows who I am and that he can show me proof of Lady Thorn's evil army. I don't trust him, but I thought I'd hear him out. That's his story. They held him prisoner for weeks until he somehow managed to escape. Then he happens to run into a member of the noble house that deals with evil vampires. Seems rather convenient, right? Well, several people have mysteriously disappeared from the area, and rumors keep reaching Castle Ravenswatch that Lady Thorn recently became more active. Seems like a worthwhile place to visit, if only to take a peek. Not exactly. I mean, I admit that vampires often like to stir up gratuitous trouble, but Lady Thorn always kept to herself in the past. Very strange that she wants to build an army now. Well, if I can believe what Talfyg says, several people came to examine the prisoners while they held him. Reachmen, other vampires, a madman. It sounded like they put the captives on display. I worry this may be part of something larger. What excellent luck. Never thought I'd see your face ever again. But there you stand, just when I need you. If you can believe it, I'm trying to stop another vampiric threat endangering all of Tamriel. Don't pretend to act surprised. I could ask the same of you, but I don't really care. The ruler of this castle, one Lady Thorn, apparently decided to start amassing her own vampiric army. Bad move on her part. I want to know what she's planning, and then stop it. This worm of a fellow found me in solitude, insists he just escaped this place, and needs to show me what the lady's up to. The problem is, I can't sneak in my usual way with him in tow. Hey, since you're here, feel like helping me storm a castle? Talfyg claims there's a secret door that he and I can use to slip in, but Lady Thorn's creatures heavily patrol the area around it. If you fight your way past the front gate, the racket should draw them away. This is going to be fun. Recent events keep the entirety of House Ravenswatch on high alert. I came north to help my siblings with those terrible storms. We train to handle our kin who get out of control, but the scale of this is so large, I can barely grasp it. Not exactly. I mean, I admit that vampires often like to stir up gratuitous trouble, but Lady Thorn always kept to herself in the past. Very strange that she wants to build an army now. Well, if I can believe what Talfyg says, several people came to examine the prisoners while they held him. Reachmen, other vampires, a madman. It sounded like they put the captives on display. I worry this may be part of something larger. Oh good, you made it. Wasn't quite sure I could sneak into Lady Thorn's eerie old castle without your help. Though you might not entirely like my plan to get in. After Stone Garden, I started digging into Lady Thorn's history, hoping to find some connection to the Grey Host. That's when this worm Talfyg found me, insists the lady has started amassing her own army, and that he can show me what she's up to. We made such a great team in Stone Garden, I figure let's do it again, except I need to keep a close eye on Talfyg, so I can't sneak in like I usually would. So, that's where you come in. How do you feel about storming the castle? Talfyg claims there's a secret door that he and I can use to slip in, but Lady Thorn's creatures heavily patrol the area around it. If you fight your way past the front gate, the racket should draw them away. This is going to be fun. Lady Thorn is one of those vampires that we never really need to worry about. Her clan keeps to themselves and rarely disturbs the regular folk nearby. That sense of privacy means we don't know too much about her, unfortunately. Only fragments. We know Lady Thorn is old, really old. Records show she's a high elf who first drew attention in the late First Era. That's when she kicked a local jarl out of this castle and moved her clan in. But really, that's all I know.
So, the Ravenswatch youngling recruited others to break into this fortress of the dead. Not really what I expected, but welcome nonetheless. We'll need the diversion if she and I are to sneak in. Yes, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to return. The experiments they performed on me and others like me were unspeakable. I did just say they were unspeakable, yes? Apologies. It's just so hard to think back on. They kept us in cages, barely fed us. Mindless fiends would stagger by our cells, growling. A strange creature would come by and whisper an unnatural language. Never in all my existence have I seen anything like it. Once, it held out its palms toward me and began whispering. A wisp of magic emerged and entered my chest. I could feel it inside me, writhing. I think it was testing my soul. They hold the prisoners underground, deep below the castle. She needs to see what Lady Thorn's creatures have done to them. Only then will Gwendis understand the extent of what must be done.
All right. That should draw the patrols. Now show me the secret door.
Yes, this way, and step quietly. The stones have ears.
Guests in my home. Please forgive my hospitality. I have not entertained in centuries.
I thought I heard a bit of a scuffle up here.
Honestly, I'm surprised to see you again. I thought the guard dog would make short work.
You should be pleased. No need to fear with us around.
If you hadn't defeated that nasty little elf Vox, I'm sure our great King Yoren would have taken care of her.
I admit, I underestimated you. Once we heard the fighting begin, I assumed your distraction would be short-lived. The mindless creatures that crawl around this castle aren't known for toying with their prey, hmm? Thankfully, you survived. What more is there to know than what you've already seen? The fiends are vicious, brutal creations of Lady Thorn's. I recognize some of them as fellow prisoners. She twists them, removes their souls somehow. Quite remarkable, really. I mean, if I wanted to build an army, having mindless hordes at the front lines would be an asset, yes? And if I could convert them from my opponent's forces, even better, hmm? I mean, that is, if I wanted to do that.
Nicely done diverting the castle's patrols towards the front hall. We didn't encounter any trouble slipping in the side entrance. Which is likely for the best. My confidence that Talfyg will betray us grows stronger by the second. We sure did. Basement prisons, just as Talfyg claimed. Recently used and in horrifying conditions. Blood and bones everywhere. I think I saw a dismembered leg. Worryingly, I didn't see any actual prisoners. Extremely similar. Well, I suppose most prisons look the same. But you're right. These felt more like livestock pens, just like those in the keep. We need to find out what Lady Thorn did with those prisoners, and what she offers the Ashen Lord.
Well done, Talfyg. You brought me a daughter of Verandis as requested. She will complement our Lord's army well.
What is this? Damn it, Talfyg! What have you done?
Your blood flows strong, Gwendis. My lady has need of you, but she has no use for the others.
No! You won't get away so easily! You can handle this. I refuse to let him win. Caught me by surprise. I knew that snake was lying. I just wanted to see what he planned. What this was all about. I never expected he would catch me so unaware. He hits harder than a giant. Cracked my ribs, probably. I don't understand how he's so powerful. Oh yeah, couldn't you tell? I marked him as full of deer dung from the moment he approached me in solitude. But why all the deception? Yeah, that's a little disconcerting. Usually evil vampires don't want House Ravenswatch anywhere near their business. If she thinks I'll join this army of hers, she's gone mad from isolation. Well, I'm going to rest here until my bones fuse back together. Shouldn't take but a few moments. In the meantime, go ahead and clear the way. See what you can learn about Lady Thorn's army, and hopefully, where we can find her.
Such power. Perhaps I should not let my pets tear you limb from limb. Vodaroth can take your soul instead.
I know where to find Lady Thorn. Push onto the cathedral while I search for clues here. By all the gods, what kind of monster does this? Siphoning the very energies from living beings to reanimate vampires. They're just husks controlled by spirits. I can see the vicious logic. Mindless fighters ready to serve like a blood fiend, but mimicking all the powers of a vampire. They'd be unstoppable. It seems you ended her source of these creatures. Whatever that was, you sent it back to oblivion. I want to destroy anything that could be used to bring another one of those creatures back to our world. Something like this must never happen again.
understand a word Vardaroth says.
How dare you reject Lady Thorn's offer? Look, tremble before the power you might have wielded.
Well, this explains some things. What have you become, Talfyg? There's no running away this time, monster!
Silently no longer. Take flight and attack. And crush these bugs!
That's that one. Now get him! You're not going anywhere this time. There, that's that one. Now get him! I brought something for just this occasion. Glad to be rid of that worm. He deserved worse. The cathedral isn't too far ahead. Lady Thorn should be inside. I've never claimed to be above revenge. In fact, I kind of enjoy it. In moderation, obviously. Can't get too carried away. Anyway, I'm glad Talfyg's dead. A blood knight. Vampires of ignoble lineage who have absorbed the power of several other kin. Considered quite rude behavior among vampires, honestly. Strange. Usually they... Oh no. According to the stories, blood knights operate in service to vampire lords. But that doesn't make sense. Lady Thorn can't be. Ravenswatch would know. We need to tread extremely carefully going forward. Found what remains of the prisoners. Such brutality. Wait, look at all these documents. There's information here about Lady Thorn and the Grey Host. I need to study this. These documents are a treasure trove, papers that go back into the First Era, all of them detailing parts of the Grey Host's history. Lady Thorn's connection to the Host are deeper than I realized. From what I can tell, Lady Thorn used to be Lady Ingrian of Clan Doreni. I wonder why she changed her name. And this is interesting. A letter expressing gratitude for providing shelter in our darkest hour. I don't know yet, but it's imperative I figure it out. The safety of Tamriel could rely on it. Look, Lady Thorn is a threat, and I've seen you fight. No matter what she throws at you, I know you can handle it. You must take her down. I need to collect as much of these documents as I can before something happens to them. There's someone I know that could make good use of the information here. I'll join you as soon as I can.
Absolute gall! Little people coming into my home and destroying my creations! You will pay. The feast begins! Don't be shy. It's almost time for dinner. You cannot lie. Now witness the fury of blood. Come to me, morsel. My hunger for more. My lord will hear of this.
It's over. The ancient clan of Lady Thorn is no more. Good riddance. I need to speak with you about what I found in those documents. An undead army shattered, an evil vampire lord destroyed, and a monstrous I don't know what banished back to oblivion. You do incredible work. Seriously, I don't know what might have happened if you weren't here. Thanks. My next step is contacting House Ravenswatch to tell them what we found. Lady Thorn's connection to the Grey Host needs deeper investigation. Before I go, I'd like you to take this. Without you, I might be up on one of those hooks. Thanks. The documents we found describe Lady Thorn's plan in significant detail. An army of darkness joining forces with the Grey Host. If we hadn't come along, she'd be unstoppable. Good thing Talfyg didn't count on you showing up. She wanted to find a way to mass-produce those revived vampire soldiers we saw. Imagine the strength of an army filled with thousands of those creatures. Or possibly even Blood Knights. Thousands of Talfygs. Send me on another mission, most likely. They know I get restless if I'm not risking my life for some reason or another. At the moment, they're trying to track down the lair of some crazy alchemist. Maybe I'll try to find that. You know, between our fun with Arcasis and the, let's be frank, horrors we dealt with here, you and I make a pretty good team. So I hope you don't mind if I make one more request of you. Look at what we know so far. Arcasis' research started long ago before the Grey Host even existed, and Lady Thorn's documents discussed a group that started the Grey Host. We need to understand more about the Grey Host's origins. Maybe we start where they first ended, Bankarai, the original fall of the Grey Host. I need to reach out to some people, but I'll be in touch soon. We should take a trip to the Bankurai garrison.